In the previous episode we left off near Saturn's moon, Titan. There we are. And we will first navigate to the nearest moon of Saturn, called Pan. This should be a nice trajectory right here. And we can start our transfer burn. And now let's admire Saturn's rings. I think Team Curiosity did a great job. Now this is not the best way to land on the moon. As you can see, I undershot, and also there's no way I'm gonna be able to counteract the speed that I'm going at. So we're gonna have to try again. We will set our trajectory so that our periapsis aligns with Pan's orbit. And we will get an encounter, but I'll still be going too fast. So from this position we'll try and make our next encounter. And there we go. And this is the first landing. First moon of this video. Only 2 minutes in, so yeah, who knows how many moons we'll do in this video. We are going to find out soon. But seeing as we only have 0.85% fuel left, I'm pretty sure we will have to get some more fuel to this rocket first, and then we'll see. Okay. Look at that. Out of fuel and landed on the surface of Pan. On the equatorial ridge. That is pretty cool texture. So since we're out of fuel, we're going to have to build a new rocket from Earth and send that up and then dock with this ship. So let's crossfade to the build area. And we will need a control unit and a big fuel tank, a docking port, RCS thrusters and a space thruster or a frontier engine. And then a larger fuel tank to get to Saturn. 4 boosters to get into space. You can find the blueprint for this rocket in the description. It will only work on PC or mobile with parts expansion. Just like in the previous episode, we went to Saturn by using gravity assists of Jupiter and Mars, but in this episode we'll also use our own moon of Earth as a gravity assist. That could have gone better. Saved by the side separator. Now, I hadn't tried this before, but as I found out, you can actually use the moon to escape Earth's sphere of influence, which would probably be a really nice benefit when playing this game in a realistic mode. Hello, moon. This is pretty cool. And as you can see, our orbit is now actually smaller than Earth's orbit around the Sun. So I think there's room for improvement here. But we still have Mars and Jupiter for our gravity assist, so we should still be able to save a lot of fuel. So the closer to an object you get, the stronger the gravity will be. So you want your trajectory as close to the planet as possible for the maximum amount of gravity assist. And here I'm trying to use Ceres as a slingshot, but its gravity is not strong enough to do any significant change to our trajectory. So we are going to target Jupiter and use its gravity to slingshot us to Saturn. I have to be careful to not leave RCS on all the time. I've used almost 10% of my fuel with just RCS. And here we can see again how strong Jupiter's gravity actually is. Pretty sure we can slingshot all the way to Uranus. But that will be for the next series, once we concluded all the moons of Saturn. And there we go. Now we'll just land on Pan the exact same way we did before in this video. And we'll have to land on the equatorial ridge again. And now we'll use RCS to dock. Okay, let's refuel the ship. Navigate to Mimas. And give the rocket the appropriate name, of course. And there we go. So we accelerate to the target velocity. And then we'll decelerate relative to Mimas into orbit. And we're gonna try and land in the Herschel Crater. And there we go. That was pretty straightforward. Now we can mentally prepare for our launch to the next moon. Wow. This is going pretty well. We have 52% fuel left, so we can make our way to Enceladus. Let's get into orbit first, and gotta go clockwise. Taking off from Mimas, and first we'll get into orbit. Get into a nice circular orbit. There we go. And once again, a very straightforward transfer. And we will try and land near Tiger Stripes. Whoa. Woof. Tiger Stripes. Cool. Now with 38% fuel left, we'll try and get as many moons as possible with that amount of fuel. and I won't go into too much detail because they're all pretty much the same. So, accompanied by some cinematic music, cue the montage. Boom. All right then. 5% left. I don't think we'll make it to another moon, but let's try and get into orbit first, and then it's easier to dock with another rocket who will be bringing fuel. Less than 4% fuel left. So the transfer burn to Iapetus is 500 meters per second, and we only have 125 meters per second of delta V left. And maybe Titan can slingshot us. No, we'll need 300 meters per second. Okay, let's get into a nice circular orbit for the fuel ship later. Okay. Well, that's the end of this video. In the next video, we'll send up another rocket with some more fuel and dock with this ship. And then we'll land on Iapetus, and we'll make our way back to Earth. And we will be using reverse gravity assists on our way back. So we'll be using Jupiter again, but then to slow down instead of speeding up. So that's going to be really cool, I think. Yeah.